BlizzCon 2018 is here with announcements made in all of Blizzard's biggest games. Announcements have been made for World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Warcraft III, StarCraft II, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, and more. This video will summarize all of the major announcements so you don't have to wade through many hours of content online, and I'll put links in the description below so you guys can find individual announcements. Blizzard kicked things off announcing that Destiny 2 will be available for free on Battle.net to anyone who signs up for it before November 18th. This first-person shooter was launched in September of 2017, so just about a year ago, and if you sign up for it, you'll keep it permanently for free. Before we get into individual games, the ceremony started off with a touching moment. Mike Morhaime, CEO and co-founder of Blizzard, handed the torch off to Alan Brack to continue to be the president of the company moving forward. Alan Brack has had a moment or two which disgruntled some fans, but we'll get to that later in the video. Let's go ahead and jump into talking about the games. The announcement started with StarCraft II, and of all of the games that were talked about today, maybe the least announcements were made here, with really the only thing that they said that there would be a new co-op commander which will be playable on the show floor. But apparently more details will also be revealed tomorrow on the Mythic stage. StarCraft II is one of my favorite Blizzard games, so I decided to dig a little deeper to see what people in the community were saying about this announcement. Some comments in the StarCraft II subreddit include, "Wow, Brack's entire pitch for StarCraft II was new co-op commander plus some AI babble for the 19th time. Bad omen, boys." As well as, "That was hilariously short." And rounded out with, "Holy shit, Warcraft 3 looks dope as fuck." We'll get to Warcraft 3 later in the video, but you know it's a bad sign when your game is being overshadowed by a 2002 remake that's essentially the same game with updated graphics. On to our next game. Heroes of the Storm is the Blizzard MOBA, and they announced a new hero for the game that a lot of players seem to be excited about. This hero's name is Orphea, and here are a couple clips of her doing whatever it is that this is. She seems very purpley. There were also many other exciting announcements for HOTS, including new content and gameplay updates. Some of the updates include that they are removing all experience earned from destroying a fort or keep, decreasing experience earned from destroying towers by 50%, passive experience gains increased by 15%, increased experience gained by defending mercenaries by 100%, and defeating laning mercenaries will now grant 100% of defending mercenaries experience. I don't know what any of that means, but I assume that some of you do. You will now also get a catapult every third minion wave. I assume this is to add some pressure to laning, where if you don't defend against these catapults, they're more likely to take down your towers. Now, I've not played HOTS before, but I have played some Dota, and this sounds very similar to the catapults that they have in that game. So I'm not sure if they already had catapults, but they were less often, or if this is something entirely new to HOTS. Actually interested in what you guys have to say. Leave a comment in the description below. Apparently, there were also some significant changes made in the armor system, which might change the gameplay and what players are looking to aim for later on in these games. You might have to do a little research on that to see how it might affect you. Other changes include you can now use matchmaking to prioritize tank, healer, or ranged assassin, unless you're playing in a team of 5. If you do queue for these roles, you'll gain bonus experience, and now stim packs are called boosts with a 5% bump in experience or something. I don't know, just go into it. If you really like Heroes of the Storm, lots of stuff for you, should be pretty excited. The HOTS subreddit was a stark contrast to the StarCraft II one, with many people extremely pumped up. Players seemed especially pumped up for the Janitor Lyric skin. If this is a meme, I don't know it. Overall, MOBAs tend not to be my cup of tea, but if this is a game type you've been debating getting involved in, now could be a great time to play HOTS. It seems that the community is lively and excited for the changes. Next up, as always, Blizzard spent a substantial amount of time talking about World of Warcraft updates and what you can expect moving forward, as well as a new cinematic. To celebrate World of Warcraft's 15th year of existence, Blizzard has announced the Battle for Azeroth patch 8.1 Tides of Vengeance. While Alan Brack did not make the announcements for a while, he did step on the stage right beforehand. Now, a lot of World of Warcraft people don't like Alan Brack because of a comment that he made that maybe wasn't the nicest thing to say.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to spam cities and say, need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon. You don't want to do that.
Even if it's true, probably not the nicest thing to say. Back to Battle for Azeroth Tides of Vengeance. Testing has been going on for the last month, and overall reception has been positive, so they're looking to release this shortly. That could be in November or December, or because it's Blizzard, fall 2027. The announcement went on to talk about what the patch would entail, some of the new battles that would be available, as well as what the Alliance and Horde would each be doing. Also announced was a game type that many players seemed excited for, WoW Classic. You can play World of Warcraft as it started 15 years ago. This will be available to anyone with a World of Warcraft subscription, and it will contain the original WoW gameplay. This is set to launch in summer 2019. Or knowing Blizzard, summer of 1 year when we feel like it. Rounding out the World of Warcraft announcements were a new charity drive, code.org, to try and help minorities and women get involved in computing, and then also a new cinematic for the Battle for Azeroth. All in all, a lot of exciting updates to look forward to as a World of Warcraft player. Next up on the announcements were Hearthstone, although they had to move over to Overwatch because nobody was listening. Because the audio wasn't working. The overall announcements and updates for Overwatch seemed a bit on the light side, but it included a new cinematic with McCree and also the 29th playable character added to the game, which seems to be a female version of McCree. Trying to learn more about the new playable character, I went over to playoverwatch.com, but the site was down. I'm going to assume this is because too many people went to the site to see what this new hero is all about. Nerds. There also seems to be a lot of excitement for Ash's Ultimate, which will include Bob, which was a character from the cinematic about Ash coming into the game, and a lot of people in the community seem excited. Moving on, let's talk about a game near and dear to my heart, Warcraft 3. Now, I played Warcraft 3 since it came out many years ago, although I got into the competitive scene a bit more around Frozen Throne, something in the vicinity of 2003. I've always been an avid RTS fan, and so I was excited to hear that something was happening with Warcraft 3. Now, if you hadn't been following the Warcraft 3 scene, which is probably basically everybody, over the last year, many updates kind of were rolled out, and a lot of the War 3 community started to feel like something was in the works. Well, it turns out that they were right when Blizzard announced Warcraft III Reforged. This appears to be something similar like with what happened with StarCraft I, where it was remastered by Blizzard. This is Warcraft III, including all of what seem to be the same units from the game as it is now, but with completely updated graphics. If we take a look at the trailer which previews the game, at the 1 second mark we can see a very professionally looking built human base. Nice layout there with the farms. For any real Warcraft 3 fans, you might notice this base looks kind of familiar. I'm pretty sure this is actually the top right base in Echo Isles, so you can kind of see what it might look like here compared to the original game type. According to the pre-purchase option at the bottom of the page, it includes visuals rebuilt from the ground up, 62 single-player missions across Azeroth and beyond, over 4 hours of reforged cutscenes, approachable hero-centric gameplay, 4 powerful races from Warcraft lore, limitless custom games to explore, updated UI and rebalanced gameplay, and modern Blizzard Battle.net features. Now, I hate to be Debbie Downer because a lot of people are extremely pumped up. I'm seeing posts about this on all of the different forums. But this is not exactly what I was looking forward to. This is the same game with slightly cooler looking dudes. And dudettes. The thing I'm probably most excited for are the modern Battle.net features so that game finding is easier and there's a larger player pool. And I'm also extremely excited that this will get more people back involved in what in my opinion was one of the greatest games of all time. But, and I don't think I'm alone in saying this from the Warcraft 3 community, I hope that there are new heroes and units and some changes other than just some minor balance tweaks, because what we really wanted for a very long time was Warcraft 4. In fact, that was a running meme for many years in the Warcraft 3 community was Warcraft 4, oh, I heard that that's coming in 2015. It wasn't true. This is certainly a step in the right direction though, pumping some much needed life into the RTS genre, and I'm excited to see where Blizzard takes it. Fans of the series Hearthstone also had something to celebrate. The new expansion will be called Rastakon's Rumble, which was announced along with a new trailer. According to this article from Polygon, the new card set is themed around the spirit of competition and the culture of an ancient fictional civilization. 9 legendary troll champions, one for each of Hearthstone's classes, are gathering in the Stranglethorn Wilds to compete in a once-in-generation battle for the blessings of their animal lost spirits and the favor of the Troll King Rastakhan. There will of course be some new cards, including these 2 cards. I don't know a lot about Hearthstone, so I can't say too much as to what they are, but I imagine some Hearthstone fans will be excited. There will also be a new keyword in Hearthstone, Overkill, which will allow a weapon or minions to attack more than once per turn if its previous attack destroys a minion by dealing an amount of damage to it that is at least 1 point greater than the minion's health, i.e. an amount of damage that is overkill. Also announced is a new solo mode, Rumble Run, where players will meet an upstart young troll who seeks the title of champion, and a new Tavern Brawl event that uses some of the expansion's new mechanics and is playable on the floor of Blizzcon today. This expansion is set to release on December 4th, which should be a nice boost to the player pool for Hearthstone. And finally, the storied franchise of Diablo gets a new chapter. And of course it is a mobile game.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have
Everyone's got a
phones,
phone.
right?
That's right, Diablo's announcement is a new mobile game. All of a sudden, that StarCraft II announcement not looking so bad. Needless to say, a lot of Diablo fans are heartbroken. I went over to the subreddit to take in their sweet, sweet tears. With thread titles like, "Notice that super uncomfortable silence from the crowd during and after the mobile announcement? Blizzard, Diablo on mobile is a slap in the face. Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?" According to these responses in the Q&A session, it actually was not an April Fool's joke, and being that I'm doing the crunching the numbers right now, it appears to be November. I also found this funny clip from a YouTube channel, Toklo, called "Curb Your Diablo 4."
We want to use mobile devices as the platform for a new Diablo game. Because nothing brings a family together like slaying demons.
Every real gamer knows that mobile games suck. And I feel like if you're going to have an announcement for your genre, your franchise, this game people are pumped for, you got to give them a little warning that it's going to be mobile, because you're basically saying, yeah, you know that thing you love? We're going to kill it. Moving from desktop to mobile is usually the kiss of death for any franchise. And when you say you're doing that to a game, well, you're going to make people sad. And Blizzard, you did that. You made people sad. Anyway, that's it from BlizzCon 2018. Hope you guys learned something. I'll cover if anything more big happens. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more from topics I'm going to be covering, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.